Every patient's journey is a testament to resilience, a story of strength, healing, and hope. We go beyond treatment to redefine what compassionate care truly means. That's Tanner Health. That's care redefined. Learn more at tanner.org.
Do the math. At Oak Mountain Academy, our average graduating class has just 12 students. We celebrate a 100% graduation rate with more than $10.5 million in college scholarships offered. Plus, 96% of our students are accepted into their top choice college. Do the math. Can you see the value of an OMA education? I'm Patrick Uran, head of school at Oak Mountain Academy, and I'm here to help you do the math. For more information, visit us at oakmountain.us so that you can discover your journey on the mountain, where every path leads to purpose.
National headlines and the local stories you care about. WLBB, Carrollton, News Talk 1330, FM 106.3.
Well, good Wednesday morning. Welcome to the WLBB Community Voice here on News Talk 1330, FM 106.3, streaming live online at newstalk1330.com. This morning we're on the News Talk 1330 WLBB Facebook page. You can see my handsome young guest, a brainy man. He broke the internet last year when he was on the program, brought some very important information to us. We'll probably revisit that. His name is Randy Sanders. Sanders Insurance. I've got a cheat sheet here. Randy Sanders Associate Insurance. Born and raised in Haralson County, where he started his company 48 years ago.
48 years ago.
And he's an expert in the areas of Medicare, life insurance, long-term care insurance, and annuities. Today we'll be talking about Medicare. He has been named Haralson County's best financial planner for 6 of the last 7 years. Who beat you out that one year?
That's a good question. I can't remember, but they're probably not in business anymore.
It wasn't your kid then. It wasn't your kid then that did that, right?
Well, my daughter Marcy.
Okay. He is past president of the Tallapoosa Lions Club and has served as chairman of their annual charity golf tournament for over 20 years. Again, he is on our program this morning. Last year, he was the first to tell the community about a big change in Medicare that affected a local health system. And again, I know I received several phone calls after that. When that news got out, it recycled, and people were calling me and said, "Hey, did you hear this? You need to do a story on that." And I was like, "Well, we kind of did." Randy Sanders, sir, good morning.
All right, sir. Good morning to you. And I do not have any terrifying news for our audience this morning.
Well, we should shut it down.
As I did last year. Last year at this very time, I was the first person to break the news that Tanner was no longer going to be in network with Humana. And when I got back to my office up in Bremen, Georgia, the staff was going crazy. And my office manager came to me and she said, "Do you know what you have done?" And I said, "Yeah, I just did a radio show." She said, "Yeah." And she said, our phones are burning up. We believe that within 1 hour of this radio show last year, we had over 100 phone calls because people simply couldn't believe that Tanner was not going to take Humana insurance anymore. And the thing was, I was surprised how many people in West Georgia had the Humana Medicare Advantage plan. And, of course, they couldn't use it at Tanner anymore, so people went absolutely crazy. So I know this program reaches the community because it was incredible. So October 15th, we began open enrollment. And, again, open enrollment lasts from October 15th to December the 7th. We saw over 1,000 people, and we helped those 1,000 people move away from Humana and into one of the insurances that Tanner was in network with. And this is the unbelievable story. When we came back from the Thanksgiving break, my office manager came to me and she says, "We've got to talk and make a decision." And I said, "Well, on what?" She said, "We've got roughly 8 days left in open enrollment." And she said, "We're booked solid to 8 o'clock on December the 7th, which is the last day of open enrollment." And I said, "So what are you telling me?" She said, "I'm simply telling you that the phones are ringing off the hook for people that want to get in here to see you, and we don't have any appointments. We're booked solid to 8 o'clock at night on December 7th. And this is, I never thought I would do this. I said, well, you're simply going to have to tell them that we're booked until the end of open enrollment, and we cannot get anyone else in. And for the first time in my 48-year insurance career, I had to turn people away and say, I'm sorry. We simply cannot see you. And I've never seen anything like it. And, of course, I don't think we will again. Now, here's the good news. I met with Tanner 2 weeks ago, and they have assured me that there's not going to be any changes for 2026 in the insurance companies that they are in network with, which means that they will continue to accept Aetna, Clover, and Cigna. In fact, we met with Cigna yesterday, and Cigna has just extended their contract with them for, I think, 2 or 3 years. And I think these companies, Aetna, Cigna, and Clover, are going to continue to be there for us. And so no changes. You don't have to worry. There's not going to be an avalanche of people saying, my God, I have got. And that was the thing. I know one thing. People don't like change, especially when you're 65 and over like I am. I'll be 75 this year. But we really don't like it when it's forced upon us. We have to make a change. There's no option. We have to make a change. And so what happened, people came in and they were just all tore up about the Humana situation. And so they said, well, who do they take? And I said, well, Aetna, Cigna, Clover, and I've got them all here for you in a side-by-side comparison sheet. And let's go through all three of them, and you tell me which one you think is going to serve you best. But I think they made a decision, and I think they were in shock. And so they just said, well, just give me that one.
Because time's running out.
Just give me that one. Mm-hmm. Now people are coming to me and saying, Randy, I chose the wrong one. It ain't working for me. Mm-hmm. I said, okay, why don't we do this? This time there's no pressure. We don't have to make a decision. And let's go through everything that Tanner offers. Let's go through everything that is out there. Maybe you don't even use Tanner. Maybe you use Piedmont. Maybe you use Wellstar. Let's look at all options. There's 7 of them. And you tell me, without having the pressure of saying, well, I got to do something. No, you tell me what's best for you. And in 2026, we'll get the plan that is working for you. These people now have had this plan for 10 months. It's January 1st
so
through
they
October.
Should know what.
They know if it's working or not. And they're saying, what else do you have? Who else can we go to? Because this ain't getting it done. And I need to talk with you. So I think this year it's not going to be the pressure of what we went through last year to make a decision, but this is the time to get it right. And I've got an ad coming out in the newspapers here next week, and that's the theme of the ad. It says, let's get it right the second time. And so that's what this year I think is going to happen. But now here is the deal for 2026. It's not anything as on the magnitude of Tanner and Humana, but prescription drugs are clearly going to be the problem or the issue for 2026. And let me tell you why. And audience, please listen to this. And maybe you can understand why we're going to have a problem next year. The Medicare Part D drug card came out in 2003. And since 2003 through 2024, this is how it worked. January 1 of every year, everybody on Medicare was given $5,000 to buy prescription drugs. Now that sounds like a lot of money, but when you got Eliquis at $800 a month, when you've got Jardiance at $1,000 a month, it doesn't take long to get that drug bill up to $5,000. So what happened was, when you exceeded the $5,000, what they call the initial coverage limit, when you went over that, you fell into this crazy thing called the donut hole. Insurance, Medicare calls it the coverage gap. But when you went over $5,000, the co-pays didn't work anymore. You had to start paying 25% of the retail cost of every medication you took. Now, let's go with Eliquis. Eliquis is a big drug out here. A lot of my clients are, I'd say the majority of my clients are on it. It's an $800 a month drug. And you were paying $47 for it until you fell into the donut hole. And then you had to start paying 25% of $800, which is $200. So what happened was the people would go to the drugstore, and the little girl would come out from behind the counter, and she'd say, "Ma'am, that will be $200 today." And you said, No. I've been paying $47 for my Eliquis. She said, key word, you were paying $47. Today, ma'am, you've fallen into what's called the donut hole, and that $47 copay don't work no more, and you have to pay 25% of $800, which is $200. Would you like to pay cash, credit card, or want me to charge it to you? And the people just couldn't. They said, I can't afford $200 for 30 pills. Well, what are we going to do? You can't go without Eliquis. Eliquis is a blood thinner. You don't take it, you're going to develop a blood clot, and you're either going to have a stroke or a heart attack. So you can't stay off the Eliquis. But anyway, man, it just drove people crazy. Now, that was the way it worked. Let me tell you the rest of it. You stayed into the donut hole. You fell in after $5,000, and you stayed into it until your drug bill hit $8,000. And then you finally came out of the donut hole and had 100% coverage for the rest of the year. Now, 2025, what happened? Law was passed back in 23, went into effect in 25. Thank God it did away with the donut hole. So we don't have the donut hole to contend with anymore, and we don't have to get to $8,000 of drugs to get 100% coverage. We get 100% coverage when that drug bill hits $2,000. I mean, what a godsend for our Medicare population, including me. Man, I'm on some high-priced drugs. But now, here's what happened, though. How did the insurance industry react to this? So they said, okay, let me think this through. They had to get to $8,000 of prescriptions before we had to pay 100%. And on top of that, we had that protection from $5,000 to $8,000 where they had to pay 25%. Are you telling me now that we have to pay 100% after $2,000 of drugs, and we don't have the donut hole gap anymore? We said, yes, insurance and companies, that's what you've got to do. And they said, well, the heck with this. We're out of it. We can't make no money. So we're out of it. 2 years ago, we had 19 insurance companies offering Medicare drug cards in the state of Georgia. This year, we've had 14 insurance companies offering drug cards in the state of Georgia. For 2026, 5 insurance companies are left offering drug cards in the state of Georgia.
Now, Randy, I think that's a good place to stop because we do have to call on our sponsors. But that's, see, that is shocking right there. You did. You left us with some shocking information there. Randy Sanders, my guest on this morning's Community Voice program. Time right now is 8:42. We are on the News Talk 1330 WLBB Facebook page. So if you have any questions or comments you'd like to share, please feel free to post them up there, and I'll try and take a peek at them, and maybe Randy will let me share them. But I believe he's got a lot of information we want to get out in the next 18 minutes or so. Community Voice brought to you by Tanner Health and Oak Mountain Academy.
Imagine a place where every heartbeat is monitored with the utmost care, where emergencies are met with swift attention, and where cutting-edge technology enables precise and timely treatments. At Tanner Health, every patient's journey is a testament to resilience, a story of strength, healing, and hope. We go beyond treatment to redefine what compassionate care truly means. That's Tanner Health. That's care redefined. Learn more at tanner.org.
Oak Mountain Academy specializes in a customized designed academic approach tailored to meet the needs of our families. Our lower division prepares students with the necessary foundation to build excellence. Our middle division provides students with over 15 course offerings, providing them with opportunities to explore their talents and gifts. Our upper division provides personalized academic journeys, allowing them to achieve their dreams. I'm Patrick Uran, head of school, inviting you to journey with us. For more information, visit us at oakmountain.us, where every path leads to purpose.
Hey, 44, welcome back to the WLBB Community Voice. My name's Colin Worthington. We've got Randy Sanders in the house this morning, basically giving you a free sermon on what's going on this year with Medicare. And I really don't believe I have to ask any questions. I could probably throw away my notes for the day because I think everything you're saying is pretty important. So I'm just going to turn it back over to you, Randy. Where are we right now? We left with that big shocking news about the donut holes gone.
Prescription drug crisis that's coming up in 2026. So I can't remember exactly where I left. Okay, let's talk about this. 2 years ago, we had 19 insurance companies that offered Medicare prescription drug cards in the state of Georgia. This year, we have 14 insurance companies offering drug cards in our great state of Georgia. 2026, there's only 5 insurance companies that are going to provide drug cards
throughout the whole
state
state
of Georgia.
Yeah.
So we go from 19 to 14 to 5, simply because, as I told you a while ago, if they have to start paying 100% after 2,000 of drugs versus 8,000 of drugs, the insurance companies are dropping like flies. They say, man, we can't make no money in this drug program, so we out of here. We're not going to offer the drugs in coverage anymore. But now here's the other thing. Of the 5 that are left, there is a list of covered drugs that the insurance company will pay for, and it's called a formulary. 2 years ago, the formularies were about 1/2 of an inch thick. This year, they're roughly 1/4 of an inch thick. I've looked at every formulary in the state of Georgia. The biggest formulary, the largest formulary, only has 14 pages. What does that tell us, ladies and gentlemen? What it tells us is the list of covered drugs has dropped down dramatically. Now, the Medicare law that governs Medicare Part D prescription drug cards says this: to be in compliance with Medicare law, insurance companies, you must offer 2 drugs for every diagnosis. So what does that mean? Well, it means that they could be in compliance and only pay for 2 blood pressure pills. They could be in compliance and only pay for 2 cholesterol pills and still be by the law.
And like neither one of them has to be generic?
And neither one of them has to be. Well, that's the issue too. Generic drugs, I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself, but generic drugs and brand name drugs are like black and white. Generic drugs for 2026 are still going to be pretty much zero copay. I saw one yesterday from an insurance company that had a $5 copay. But now let's talk about the way drugs are paid for. Drugs are broken down in the Medicare drug card in a thing called tiers, T-I-E-R, Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3, and so on. What are Tier 1 drugs? Tier 1 drugs are very low-cost generic medications, predominantly blood pressure, cholesterol-type medications. Tier 2 drugs are still generic, but they cost more. They're higher-priced generic medications. Most insurance companies, and I use that word most, you need to understand this, most insurance companies have a zero copay for Tier 1. A lot of them have a zero copay for Tier 2. The one I saw yesterday has gone up to $5 on Tier 2. But usually, and again, that's a key word, usually there's no deductible on generic medication. Now, the drug deductible this year was $590. Next year in 2026, the drug deductible is $615. But again, most, and please understand the word most companies do not have a deductible on generic medication. Now let's go to Tier 3, which are brand name medications. They are no generic equivalents. Eliquis, Jardiance, Trulicity, Humira. I mean, I could go on and on. They're brand name, they have no generic equivalent. the majority, I won't use the word most anymore, the majority of the companies are going to charge the $615 deductible on Tier 3 brand name medications. And this is the big dividing point. Some companies have a $47 copay after the deductible for generic medication, but some of them have gone away from copay for Tier 3 to a percentage of the cost. I'll give you one example, and I won't name insurance companies. I looked at a formulary last week from one of the three that Tanner takes, let's put it that way. They have no deductible on generic medications. Tier 1 cheap generics are free, $0. Tier 2 higher price generics are $5. Tier 3, this is your Eliquis, Jardiance, Trulicity, Humira, so on. $615 deductible, and then 24% of the cost of the Tier 3 brand medication. That means Eliquis will be $615 deductible plus 24% of $800. You're looking at that first fill of Eliquis in January of 26 at being around $800. That's why you have got to get in to see me, because I have got to get you the right drug card.
Where can they come see you, Randy?
Come see me at 200 North Buchanan Street in the big city of Bremen, Georgia, and bring your drug list. Bring every drug you take. So that I've got this great computer program called the Medicare Drug Plan Finder. I'll run your drugs, no cost, free to you. I'll run your drugs through that Medicare Drug Plan Finder, and it will spit out what the best drug card is for you. And I'll make sure that you avoid that $615 deductible, and I'll make sure, besides paying 24% of the cost of your Eliquis and the other brand name drugs, that you'll pay a flat $47 copay.
You recommend they call, though, before and make sure you got room?
770-574-8686. And please, I don't think it's going to be anything like last year with the Humana Tanner situation. But remember, after Thanksgiving last year, I had to turn people away. So please don't wait to after Thanksgiving to try to get in to see me, because it probably ain't going to happen.
All right, Randy, I'm going to take our final break here, and we'll come back with about 7 minutes, and let's put some stuff together here that you think's relevant and important for our listeners this morning. Community Voice is brought to you by Tanner Health and Oak Mountain Academy.
Imagine a place where every heartbeat is monitored with the utmost care, where emergencies are met with swift attention, and where cutting-edge technology enables precise and timely treatments. At Tanner Health, every patient's journey is a testament to resilience, a story of strength, healing, and hope. We go beyond treatment to redefine what compassionate care truly means. That's Tanner Health. That's care redefined. Learn more at tanner.org.
Oak Mountain Academy is a vibrant community built on innovation, academic excellence, and a 64-year legacy of shaping community leaders. I'm Patrick Uran, head of school at Oak Mountain Academy, inviting you to visit the mountain and experience firsthand the passion, purpose, and personalized education that defines our school. Come see how our mission and vision come to life each day. For more information, visit us at oakmountain.us so that you can discover your journey on the mountain, where every path leads to purpose.
8:53. Welcome back to the Community Voice Program. News Talk 1330 FM 106.3. My name's Colin Worthington. My guest is Randy Sanders. We are talking about Medicaid and drug prescriptions. Medicare and drug prescriptions, and a lot of important information. And I was telling you, man, just everything you're saying seems relevant and important. You're not taking this around in any circles. You're getting a lot of information out there. So I'm going to give you this last 6 minutes.
This is important stuff, man. You know, what I find out is, and I'm not saying anything about our audience and all, but most folks don't really understand Medicare. I ask a lot of times when people come in to see me, especially if they're new clients, new people coming in for the first time, I need to know where you are now before I can take you where you might want to go, or more importantly, where you need to go. So I ask folks, I say, now listen, do you have a Medicare supplement or a Medicare Advantage plan? And they say, well, I'm with Aetna. I said, no, that's not the question. I didn't ask what company you had your insurance with. I asked you, did you have a supplement or an advantage? You'd be surprised how many people don't know what they got. And it's just amazing to me. But again, it's not their job, and there's two programs that are extremely important to people 65 and over, of which I'm one. Number one's Medicare, we're talking about this morning. The other one's Social Security. And if you don't get those two right, it's going to be a bumpy road for you. And we also do Social Security consultations as well. But let's summarize. I've covered so much this morning. I know I have very limited time. What do you need to do during this open enrollment to prepare for January 2026? You need to look at your Medicare Advantage plan if you have one. A lot of you have told me, I went with company A and it ain't working for me. What else does Tanner take? I want to look at the other companies they take. If that's you, you need to call and set an appointment at 770-574-8686. So review what you've got, number one. But number two, and more important, I can't stress enough how important prescription drug coverage is going to be for you in 2026. If you do not bring in your drugs and let me run it through my plan finder and let me come back and tell you what the best card is for you, when you go to the drugstore in January of 2026 and that little girl comes out and says, ma'am, that'll be $800, you're going to be devastated. You're going to be shocked. Don't wait till January of 2026 to realize that you have the wrong drug card. I mean, this is important stuff. So to summarize, make sure you got the right health plan, but more importantly, check that drug card out. And I'll show you what the Medicare Plan Finder says. I won't tell you what card to go with. I'll say, here you go, here's your report. Looks like Cigna Saver is going to be the best plan for you, or it might be the Humana Value Plan, or it might be the Aetna Custom Saver. I don't know what it's going to be.
Did Cigna change to HealthSpring?
Yeah, oh, that's right. I'm sorry. Thank you so much, Colin. Cigna has changed their name. Thank you. Cigna has changed their name to HealthSpring. So when you start getting material, if you're with Cigna, by the way, and you start getting stuff that's got the word HealthSpring on it, it is still Cigna. They have changed their name.
Don't throw it away. It's not junk mail.
2026. So yeah, don't throw away stuff from HealthSpring because that's the old Cigna. Thank you for I had that on my notes.
Hey, you presented the cheat
totally
sheet,
forgot
man.
about
I appreciate it. No, that made me look smart. Thank you.
Yeah,
hey, we've got about 3 minutes, Randy. Now, Aetna, Clover, and HealthSpring. What are significant differences? Why would I pick one over the other?
That's a great question. The number one reason why you would choose Aetna, Cigna, or Clover is the drug deductible. Who has the $615 drug deductible? Who does not have a deductible on any prescription medication? That's the first thing. Number two are the copays. That's another thing. Specialist copays in particular are going up from $20 to $30. One company's got a $50 specialist copay. I still have one with a $10 specialist copay. So the copay, and the bigger one is the what they call advanced imaging. These are your MRIs. These are your CT scans. These are your PET scans. I've got one company that will let you have those scans for $150. I have another company that's going to charge you $450 for an MRI. So you've got to know the drugs, yes, but you've also got to look at those copays. Who's going to charge you the most for an MRI? Who's going to charge you the least to get an MRI? Who's going to have the highest specialist copay? Who's going to have the lowest specialist copay? You've got to really compare these things, and that's why I'm telling you, some folks a lot of folks have called me, or we do all the senior centers out here. They've come up to me after the senior center meeting and said, Randy, I need to get in to see you. Man, did I choose the wrong plan. Mm-hmm. Well, I said, you were under a lot of pressure. You had to make a decision. You had basically 30 minutes to make a decision. And you chose just off the cuff. You're in shock because of Humana, and you just said, just give me that one. And now you've lived with it for 10 months, and you say, my God, did I ever choose the wrong plan?
Randy, we got 30 seconds. Give us all the details. People get in touch with you, your address, your phone number.
Thank you, 770-574-8686. Call, get your appointment. Don't wait till after Thanksgiving and say, I'm sorry, I can't see you. or come by my office, 200 North Buchanan Street in the beautiful city of Bremen, Georgia.
Randy Sanders, our guest on this morning's Community Voice program. You've got a great website, too, so you can check that out. Just type in Randy Sanders Associates on Google, and that'll pop up.
It's SandersInsurance.com.
That's easier then. All right, Randy, good to see you again.
Thank you, sir.
And thank you. I feel educated, and I hope everybody else who watched today and listened today will share our program. It's in podcast form on our website, and also it's on the Facebook page. So share it with your older friends and older neighbors, and very informational. 9 o'clock right now. Community Voice brought to you by Tanner Health and Oak Mountain Academy.